Good day everyone, I'm Hanielet Panaligan from BS Criminology 3-1. So for today's video, we will talk about the Republic Act number 10930. An act rationalizing and strengthening the policy regarding driver's license by extending the validity period of driver's licenses and penalizing acts in violation of its issuance and application amending for those purposes Section 23 of Republic Act number 4136 as amended by Batas Pambansa BLG 398 and Executive Order number 1011, otherwise known as the Land Transportation and Traffic Code. Be it enacted, the Senate House of Representatives of Philippines in Congress assembled. Section 1. Declaration of Policy. It shall be the policy of the state to establish a system that promotes the ease of access to government services and efficient transportation regulation favorable to the people. So, sa Section 1, dito nakapaloob yung kung paano mapapadali yung transportation in favorable to the people para sa mga tao. Section 2. Section 23 of Republic Act number 4136, otherwise known as the Land Transportation and Traffic Code, as amended, is hereby further amended and read as follows. Section 23, Issuances of Driver's Licenses, Fees and Validity. If, after such examination, the Land Transportation Office or LTO head or his or her deputies find that the applicant possesses necessary qualification and proficiency in the operation of motor vehicles, is able to read and write and any of the official languages or a major dialect, and knows how to read and interpret various traffic signs, signals, and road markings, a professional or non-professional license may be issued to such applicant upon payment of the fee prescribed in accordance with law, and which shall not cost more than the government's procurement expense. But prior to the issuance of said license, the applicant shall present himself or herself in person and have his or her photograph taken by the LTO. All driver's license issued shall be signed in the presence of LTO head, or his or her deputies, and shall bear, among others, the full name, date of birth, weight, sex, color of eyes, blood type, complete current address, biometrics, license number, and its date of issue and expiration. So basically, ang gustong sabihin ng Section 23 is, so bago ka releasean ng LTO ng driver's license is kailangan muna nilang ma-verify kung ikaw ba ay may kakayahang magbasa, umintindi ng mga traffic signages para maiwasan natin ang mga aksidente. The next, in the issuance of licenses, the LTO shall now use such process or adopt such measure as will prevent any alteration or falsification of a license or will enable the LTO to detect any unauthorized license. The LTO shall create an online process for the renewal of professional and non-professional licenses within 1 year from the effectivity of this act. So, syempre sa LTO, meron silang mga process, meron silang mga ways kung paano nila madedetect na yung isang driver's license ba is may alteration or may mga falsification na nagaganap. So, kung yung ginagamit mong driver's license ba is naka-register through online or ito ay fake. And except for student permits, all driver's licenses shall be valid for 5 years, reckoned from the birth date of the license, unless sooner revoked or suspended, provided, however, that subject to Section 26 hereof, Any holder of a professional or non-professional driver's license who has not committed any violation of Republic Act Number 4136 and other traffic laws, rules, and regulations during the 5-year period shall be entitled to a renewal of such license for 10 years, subject to the restrictions as may be imposed by the LTO. So, this act explains the span validity of a driver's license na if ever yung driver within 5 years wala siyang violation regarding rules and regulations of the LTO is mabibigyan siya ng renewal within 10 years. Mabibigyan siya ng 10 years na expiration date upon renewal of his or her driver's license. The local government units, LGUs, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, MMDA, or other agencies lawfully issuing traffic violation to the LTO, which shall serve as the repository of all traffic violation records. Section 3. A new section is hereby added after Section 23 of the same Act and numbered as Section 23 of the same Act and numbered as Section 23A to read as follows. Section 23A, Establishment of stricter rules before the issuance of driver's license. The LTO shall promulgate prerequisites and guidelines before the grant of driver's licenses to ensure that these are issued only to deserving applicants with sufficient driving skills and knowledge on road safety and proper road courtesy. So, this section 23 explains that purpose ng prerequisites and guidelines ng LTO is para malaman nila or ma-detect nila na yung driver ba is nare-releasan nila ng driver's license is meron siyang good behavior, which is makakatulong para ma-observe nila yung disiplina nila sa pag-drive. Next is toward this end, the conduct of theoretical and practical examinations, among others, must sufficiently measure the competency of drivers and must be designed to the type of license applied for its corresponding restrictions, provided that for professional drivers, the test must be appropriated to the vehicle and type of service the applicant intends to operate. So, before ka naman mag-theoretical driving is meron kang a-applyan kung ano ba yung type na sasakyan na mamaneho mo. Meron kang mga choices doon and yun yung ida-drive mo within 15 hours, maximum of 15 hours, and i-divide nila yun in 3 days. And regarding with the practical examinations is kailangan mong maipasa yung examination na yun para ma-validate yung pag-a-apply mo ng license. Section 4. A new section is hereby added after the Section 23A of the same Act and numbered as 23B to read as follows. Section 23B, Penalties. Without prejudice to the penalties provided under the revised penal code and other applicable laws, the penalties corresponding to the following acts shall be imposed by the appropriate agency or officer. A. Any officer who, in any manner, issues a driver's license without the necessary examinations, connives with the applicant for the irregular issuance of license, or who, by gross negligence, issues a driver's license to an unqualified applicant shall suffer a penalty of removal from the service with all the accessory penalties attached thereto. B. A fine in the amount of 20,000 pesos shall be imposed upon an applicant for a driver's license found to have committed any of the following acts. First, willful misrepresentation with respect to material information in one's application. Second, connivance with the officer in the irregular conduct of examinations or issuance of license. Third, falsification of documents, or fourth, cheating during examinations. Any or all of the acts above mentioned shall be punished whether or not a license was granted but reason of such misrepresentation, connivance, falsification, or cheating. In addition to the above-mentioned fine, the driver's license of an erring applicant, if one is granted by reason of such misrepresentation, connivance, falsification, or cheating, shall be revoked, and the applicant shall be prohibited from applying for a period of 2 years. The repetition of such offense shall warrant their perpetual disqualification from being granted a driver's license in addition to the fine above stated. And C. A holder of a driver's license who acts in violation of the provisions of Republic Act No. 4136 and other existing traffic laws shall suffer corresponding penalties as may be provided by law and other issuances. In case of death or physical injuries resulting in the loss of any part of the victim's body or the use thereof, insanity, imbecility, impotence, or blindness, or incapacity to work for more than 90 days, the license of the offending driver shall be revoked for a period of 4 years after a finding by the court that such driver was negligent or active. So, if ever na aksidente ka and yung ka-aksidentehan mo is severe or yung part ng katawan niya or may isang part lang ng katawan niya ang naputol or naatanggal, ganun. If ever na yung court na patunayan na ikaw ang may kasalanan, yung license mo is mare-revoke ng 4 years. The Department of Transportation, DOTR, and the LTO shall in coordination with the Land Transportation, Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, and other concerned agencies and private stakeholders aggressively and regularly conduct a nationwide information, education, and communication, or IEC, campaign on road safety, including the list of measures implemented pursuant to and violations punishable under this Act. Section 5. Review of penalties. The Secretary of the DOTR, upon the recommendation of the LTO, after due hearing and publication, shall have the power to increase or adjust the fine herein imposed once every 5 years, provided that in no case shall the increase be more than 5% of the fine sought to be increased. Section 6. Research and Development. The LTO shall conduct continuing research and development to ensure the efficient administration of the driver's licensing system. Section 7. Implementing rules and regulations. Within 60 days from the effectivity of this Act, the Secretary of the DOTR, with the assistance of the LTO, the LTFRB, and the MMDA, shall promulgate the implementing rules and regulations necessary to ensure the effective implementation of Section 8. Separability Clause. If any provision or part thereof is held invalid or unconstitutional, the remainder of the law provisions not otherwise affected shall remain valid and subsisting. Section 9. Repealing Clause. All clause, decrees, executive orders, letters of instruction, rules and regulations, issuance or parts thereof inconsistent with the act are hereby revoked, repealed, amended, or modified accordingly. Section 10. Effectivity. This act shall take effect 15 days after its publication in the Official Gazette or in newspaper or general circulation. Again, I'm Hanielet Panaligan from BS Criminology 3-.